The only thing new in the world is a history you don't know. Harry Truman. In the early 1900s, the American Medical Association, or AMA, created a Council of Medical Education with the purpose of evaluating medical training nationally and subsequently making improvements where needed. They approached the Rockefellers and Carnegie Foundations to finance a complete study and the evaluation of all medical schools in North America. A candidate is chosen to administer the evaluation of all medical schools in North America. Abraham Flexner was chosen by the Rockefeller Foundation to perform this critical study. Flexner was not a physician, a scientist, or a medical educator. He did have a Bachelor of Arts degree and operated a non-medical for-profit school in Louisville, Kentucky. The result of this study was called the Flexner Report. Rockefeller's vision at the time was to dominate the petroleum, petrochemical, and pharmaceutical markets, which are derived from coal tar or crude oil. He arranged for his company, Standard Oil of New Jersey, to obtain a controlling interest in a huge German drug cartel called IG Farben. This is a quote from Tom Clancy. "Information and knowledge are power. If you can control information, you can control people." The teachings of most established healing techniques, such as eclectic, naturopathic, or herbal medicines that were not based in the use of pharmaceutical drugs, were stricken from the curriculum of all medical colleges and universities throughout North America. About 130 medical schools were in operation in 1910, prior to the issuance and the enforcement of the recommendations put forth by Abraham Flexner in his report. By the year 1927, only 80 medical schools remained in North America. The side effects of the Flexner Report. Per the Flexner Report, established courses regarding the specific health and therapeutic benefits offered by nutrition and exercise were removed from all medical school curriculum.
I wrote a paper in a JAMA called Disuse and Aging, and in it, my introduction to it, I said there's no drug in present nor prospective use that holds nearly so much promise as a lifetime fully lived physically actively. And that sat fallow until this Medicare drug bill came along. And I was frosted by that. So I called Feinstein up, whom I know a little bit, and I said, Diane, this thing is a disgrace. The only people this bill's going to do any good for are the stockholders of Merck and Pfizer. It's going to cost future Americans trillions of dollars, and old people don't need to take a pill, they need to take a walk. She said, don't talk to me about that. Call up Graham. Robert Graham was the Democrat from Florida who was the principal architect. So I get on the phone and start haranguing his health staffer, Howie Foreman, and he said, stop, Dr. Bortz. Of course you're right, we know that, but we just got 30 million emails from the AARP insisting that we pass this bill, because the AARP is in the drug business. But that's America. That's the way it is.
Defying traditional medicine and the pharmaceutical drug companies, McFadden claimed that chronic diseases such as arthritis could be overcome by a physical culture lifestyle. It's interesting to note that he apparently never suffered from arthritis, as shown in this photo of him jumping over a tennis net in his mid-80s.
Jenny and Jack Taylor. Jack's 91 and I'm 89.
Both worked at the Physical Culture Hotel, Dansville, as it was known in those days.
Arthritis, you would not believe how bad people came to that hotel that couldn't even walk, that went out walking.
I had arthritis. At the time there was a Stanford track coach, Dink Templeton. He was Stanford University. And he came there. He told me at one time he'd taken as many as 12 aspirin at a time. There wasn't any Tylenol or anything, it was just aspirin in those days. And as many 48 in a day just to relieve his pain until he came there.
Wow.
They really did the trick. Well, I know it was eating habits.
Through diet and
yeah,
the
exercise
and diet. Mostly the diet, I think.
They had a diet kitchen, and all you got in the diet kitchen was like fruit salads, carrot shakes, different kind of vegetable shakes. And that was in the diet kitchen. And a lot of them, that's all they had. And then at night they'd come down, but most of them didn't eat meat.
It was only fruits and vegetables, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Basically.
that's what it was. No cookies. We had no cookies there.
No.
No pies and cakes.
No. No.
Did they serve alcohol when they had the dance?
Oh, no.
Oh, there was no alcohol there.
Oh, no. No drinking. No, even not a Coke.
Not even a Coke.
Not even a Coke.
McFadden embarked on an all-out campaign to create a national army of professional physical culturists called health specialists, whose mission it was to offer the public an alternative to medical doctors. The emphasis for the health specialists was, as the name implies, to keep people well.
Health specialists. Their mission, as the name implies, was to keep people healthy. I have to wonder how much needless suffering and anguish and torment that humanity has endured simply because they failed to heed McFadden's advice on a physical culture lifestyle that today we call wellness.
The McFadden Institutes also offered graduate courses in dietetics and, of course, physical culture. This photo from the early 1900s shows a physical culture class. Note that the class was even open to women of color. Professional physical culturists were the forerunners of today's personal trainers, and careers such as those of exercise science and exercise medicine that traditional medical academia now claim as their own. Perhaps the biggest undertaking in terms of promoting a natural lifestyle was McFadden's multi-volume Encyclopedia of Physical Culture, from which, for the first time, millions of ordinary people learned facts then only known to medical doctors. Reading McFadden's encyclopedia, the average person could learn about the skeletal, muscular, and nervous systems, the functions of vital organs, and the internal processes of the human body. This information was considered the domain and private property of medical doctors, not to be shared with the working masses. The encyclopedia also covered hundreds of subjects, including sex, childbirth, and taking care of a sick child, with many of the photographs being those of his own children. While the aging McFadden displayed his seemingly eternal youth in exhibitions throughout the country, the sales of Physical Culture magazine continued to be astronomical. The bright-colored covers showing healthy, active young men and women did not completely represent the magazine's contents. This is a look inside Physical Culture. Typical articles were, "What really killed Valentino?" "Drugs caused movie star to relapse just as nature seemed to be pulling him through." "Is the healing art killing America? Keeping the world submerged in disease." "Exposing the medical trust, whose life and death powers may cost you your life." "The menace of the medical autocracy. The American Medical Association is trying to drive all drugless healers out of business and destroy your personal freedom and thought in matters of health." And "Medical lobby controls your life and health." There were articles by famous author and playwright George Bernard Shaw, such as "Vaccination is a crime," "Prolonging your life," "70,000 doctors have combined against you," and "Drugless physician answers his critics." McFadden's dislike of the traditional medical community was rivaled only by his respect for the then drugless practice of osteopathic medicine. McFadden is shown here demonstrating osteopathic treatment for the article "Osteopathy's Triumph Half-Century." Then there were photos of the master himself. This one showing one of McFadden before and after a 15-day fast, and telling "How I kept fit at 58." Two of McFadden's most passionate causes were the